All right, Interfaith Partnership St. Louis. How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, come on. This is all everybody in a big room together. This hasn't happened. It still feels new, even though we've been doing it for a while, but this is a great crowd. Good evening and welcome to Interfaith Partnership's annual celebration, Journeys to Friendship. We are so glad to have you here at the Lambert International Airport, the Aero event space. Welcome to the 450 plus people that are in the room tonight. And, absolutely. And welcome to our guests that are watching from home via live stream, and that is courtesy of Streamside Productions. It's been a real treat working with them, and we're so glad that they have provided this live stream service for us. So we are so happy whether you are, whatever platform you're following us on, whether at home on your computer or here in the room, we are so glad that you can be part of our celebration tonight. For those of you who don't know, that I'm Jim Poinsett. I'm Executive Director of Interfaith Partnership. And not only that, I'm also your MC for the evening, which I'm honored to do. I'll be here to help keep things moving along, and as we have some fun tonight, and maybe learn a thing or two along the way. And we're already off to a great start. How about a round of applause for the Six of St. Louis and the Islamic Foundation for our turban tying and the calligraphy, and our photo booth tonight. The little activities beforehand with our small place was so much fun. I just love the energy that's in here tonight. So thank you all for being a part of that. And, you know, for 37 years, Interfaith Partnership has been bringing that energy to fostering friendships and bridging divisions. And this year's theme, Journeys to Friendship, highlights the positive impact that our religious communities can have on cultivating the friendships that can transform lives and strengthen our communities. And that's what we're here to celebrate tonight. Tonight we're celebrating how far we've come, and we're also renewing our commitments to support and accompany one another on the journey of friendship, and to celebrate the courage, compassion, and the dedication to loving one's neighbor that makes our interfaith community so special. So we're going to begin in a moment with a blessing from Venerable J. of the Fogon Shan St. Louis Buddhist Center. But before she comes to share the invocation with us, I feel that it's important for us to recognize the tragedy that happened in our community this week. On Monday, we were horrified and heartbroken to learn of the shooting at the Central Visual and Performing Arts High School. 2 people of the school died, and 7 others were injured, and the shooter also lost his life. I invite you to join in a moment of silence to collectively reflect on and lament and grieve this tragic event and all those that lost their lives and have suffered this week. I invite you to bow with me. Amen. Venerable J.
So we're here in St. Louis Lambert International Airport, which serves as the main entry point for visitors to this beautiful St. Louis city. And it is also a hub to connect the travelers. So in Buddhism, there is a concept of entry point. Okay. Entry point to the stage of awakening. So association with people of integrity, which is this friendship, is the first key to the first stage of awakening. As the Buddha has said, with regard to external factors, I don't envision any other single factor like friendship with admirable people as doing so much for a practitioner in training. So having admirable people as friend, companion, and colleagues, esteemed as half of the holy life. So here is the remark from the Buddha. A friend endowed with these three qualities is worth associating with. Which three? Who gives what is hard to give, does what is hard to do, endures what is hard to endure. A friend endowed with these three qualities is worth associating with. So he also said, regard your admirable friend as one who points out treasures, the wise one who, seeing your faults, rebukes you, and stay with this sort of sage. For the one who stays with a sage of this sort, things get better, not worse. In today's world, we need friends to make us better. And look around people in this room. Aren't we all friends who get people better, right? So this is the best occasion we build connection to whom is admirable, whom is virtuous, whom is full of good qualities. So let our bondage be tied with the goodness in humanity. So let us pray. Please listen to our sincerest prayer, and we would like to dedicate these prayers to our friends and also to those who has impact from the recent tragedies. We sincerely wish that in this world there be no jealousy, only admiration, no hatred, only harmony, no greed, only generosity, no harm, only achievement. Let people of different ages live in harmony. Let people of different social stations have mutual respect. Let people of different professions work in cooperation. Let people of different religions practice with tolerance. So please accept our sincerest prayer. Thank you.
Thank you, Venerable. And three people that I have been associated with these last 9 months, the co-chairs of our dinner committee. I'd like to introduce them for a few words.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Roger Burton. I am a co-chair of the cabinet of the Interfaith Partnership. Can't hear me?
No, we can.
Microphone check. Before I introduce my esteemed co-chairs, I'd like to share an anecdote that I heard while I was fellowshipping with all of you. There was a Catholic priest and a Baptist minister and a Methodist pastor coming out of a bar and grill. And outside was a Buddhist monk and a imam and a rabbi. And they looked at each other for a moment. And so the Buddhist monk says, I believe there's consensus. And then the rabbi says, yes, we can all agree the service was terrible. But I think we can all agree the service has been fantastic tonight. Let's give our caterers a hand. The fellowship has been fantastic. And so I just want to introduce our co-chairs, Bishop Rosansky, the Archbishop of St. Louis, the Archdiocese of St. Louis, Bishop Farr, who is the Missouri Conference of the Methodist Church. Let's give them a hand.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight to celebrate our region's interfaith relationships, to renew our commitments to one another, and to continue investing in bridge building through the Interfaith Partnership of St. Louis. We do hope that tonight shows you a little bit of what Interfaith Partnership has done to break barriers and to make connections, to heal divisions and to create community, and also give you a glimpse of what Interfaith Partnership of St. Louis can continue to do, can expand with your support. Bishop?
That's right, Bishop Farr. We hope you enjoyed the dialogue hour and took advantage of the opportunity to laugh and learn with each other, and to connect with old friends and to make new ones. The opportunity to embrace our journeys to friendship encourages us to seek common ground. In our Christian faith, this means walking closely with others, especially those who need our support the most. Because of our commitment of building friendships across differences, we are honored to lead this effort to bring so many faith communities together here this evening. By building these bridges, you are helping us to show the greater St. Louis community a shining example of what's possible when we are unified in service and in love.
See, these guys are the professionals up here. Each year, a different faith group takes the lead on planning the event. This year is the Christian community. We are proud to be the co-chairs of this amazing group of Christian leaders who stepped up to make this incredible event a reality. We would like to recognize the members of the annual celebration planning team. Let's show our appreciation for all their hard work. Come on, y'all can do better than that.
Thank you. We'd also like to acknowledge our bridge builder sponsors, the Archdiocese of St. Louis. I'm supposed to look back and make sure it's up here. It is. Edward Jones, I don't look back much. Missouri Conference of the United Methodist Church, and Harvey and Leanne Snyder. I think all those, let's give them an appreciation. Our unified sponsors, Midwest Bank, Centra, Islamic Foundation of Greater St. Louis, UMB, and the Turkish American Society of Missouri. Let's give them some appreciation. The St. Louis University Center for Service and Community Engagement, Streamlined Productions, Lenny and Julie Frankel, Marvin Anderson, and Jim Poisette. Let's give them our appreciation. Thank you to all of our generous individuals and corporate sponsors that make this possible. Each of you have stepped up to inspire people to think differently, to build a more inclusive St. Louis, where all can flourish together as neighbors. Thank you so much for your unwavering generosity and vision for St. Louis. Thank you.
Friends, we have quite an evening in store for you as we celebrate our interfaith community and what the journey of friendship makes possible. Tonight will include a lively and enlightening performance by the St. Louis Community Choir, and we will also be honoring 2 members of our community for their service and activism with the prestigious Interfaith Achievement Award. We hope tonight's events will inspire you to renew your commitment to the mission of building bridges, fostering friendships. As we begin, we are pleased to be joined by Dr. Monica A. Stewart, the St. Louis County Community Engagement Liaison. It's my pleasure now to introduce Dr. Monica Stewart, Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much. Okay. My name is Dr. Monica A. Stewart, and I am here at this event on behalf of St. Louis County Executive Dr. Sam Page. I represent Dr. Page in St. Louis County at numerous local events, but as a woman of faith, myself, this evening is special to me. So again, many thanks for having me. From the day that Dr. Page took office as the St. Louis County Executive, he has made respect and support for all races, creeds, and faith traditions a hallmark of his administration. Any faith worth following emphasizes brotherly and sisterly love, especially toward those who are less fortunate. And with that in mind, our administration has focused on improving the quality of life wherever people in St. Louis County are struggling, wherever they have fallen or been left behind in terms of economic, public safety, and health outcomes. In short, all the realms of equity and inclusion. And we must always remember, especially in these contentious times where it sometimes seems that tolerance is fading in our political sphere, that our nation was founded on separation of church and state. And it has precisely been this separation that has allowed us to be peacefully recognize, honor, and celebrate the positive contributions of all our various faith traditions in our region. Again, thank you, and may God continue to bless and keep you.
Thank you, Dr. Stewart, for your presence here with us tonight. And it should go noted that St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones intended to be here tonight, but as you might expect, she was called away this week with other duties dealing with the tragedy at the high school this week. So we're very grateful for your presence with us tonight, Dr. Stewart. Now it is my special pleasure to introduce the president of the Interfaith Partnership Board of Directors. She's not only a woman of great intelligence and many talents, but she's also my boss. So let's give it up for Dr. Sophia Graywall.
Hello, good evening, friends. I welcome you all to our annual celebration of the Interfaith Partnership of St. Louis. I would like to begin by first acknowledging that we are gathered here today on the ancestral lands of the Osage Nation, Otoe Missouri Tribe, Miami Kickapoo Tribe, and the Illini Confederation, who were removed unjustly. We must acknowledge and reflect on the fact that we are beneficiaries of that removal. We honor the members of the indigenous community, both past and present, as we are gathered here. Recently, a terrible tragedy struck our community, which ended in senseless loss of lives. We should take just a thought to keep those in our prayers for the victims, their families, friends, and all the loved ones in the Central VPA High School community. Today, our annual celebration is about journeys to friendship. The communities of faith in St. Louis help to improve lives and strengthen community by providing pathways to connection, overcoming divides, and creating bridges for unity. The Interfaith Partnership of St. Louis inspires people to think differently, link friendships and relationships across differences, and create interfaith partnerships that strengthen our community so that all can feel safe and supported in practicing our beliefs. Let me highlight the various actions the Interfaith Partnership has accomplished in the past year. The IPSTL Interfaith Academy reached hundreds of participants, promoting religious understanding and challenging people to consider, engage with, and advocate for other traditions, all in the hope that connections would create new friendships. IPSTL initiated the Religious Leaders Forum, bringing together leaders from various religious organizations to strengthen religion's collective role in advancing equity and the common good in our region, for the goal that these relationships would transform lives for the better. IPSTL partnered with the FBI and security experts to help keep religious communities safe and has spoken out on behalf of those excluded from public service opportunities based on religious litmus tests. Additionally, IPSTL's Sprouts of Peace youth program, it resumed in 2022, and our at-home enrichment home library now reaches more than 135 families, 230 children, affiliated with more than 40 different religious congregations. Thank you. The IPSTL works to create positive feelings towards diverse faith communities and decrease fear and isolation that fuels religious-based bias, discrimination, and hate. We are producing educational aids to a variety of institutions, including K-12 schools, colleges and universities, healthcare institutions and corporations, which are committed to creating safer, more inclusive environments. The IPSTL also resumed participation at the Festival of Nations, where we coordinated the Religions of the World tent. The tent provided visitors with opportunities to learn more about and engage with representatives from the many religious traditions practiced throughout our region. The Interfaith Partnership exists because of the commitment of several members of different faith backgrounds who passionately support the mission for a more interconnected faith community at large, one that is without bias, animosity, and division. So I would like to appreciate the people who are leaders in their faith communities and help provide the voice of our organization. May all the cabinet members please rise and everyone join me in giving them hearty recognition. Next, I would like to acknowledge and thank my fellow board members who work dutifully in carrying out the mission of the Interfaith Partnership. May all the board members please rise and everyone join me in giving them hearty recognition. Thank you. In particular, I would like to give a quick shout out to the dinner organization committee members who put in the effort to plan and coordinate today's event. Thank you all for doing this wonderful job today. Now I would like to recognize and thank all those who make this organization run seamlessly and effectively. These are the people who work tirelessly with the board, the cabinet, and the general public to ensure that we are true to our mission. May the hardworking Executive Director Jim Poinsett, Director of Community Engagement and Communications Erin Fisher, and Executive Administrator Jasminder Singh, please stand up and may everyone join me in giving them hearty recognition. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to thank Nancy Remmert of Church Women United and the Women's Interfaith Conference, and my fellow IPSTL board member, Leonard J. Frankel of Congregation Binaya Muna, for being here tonight and accepting this year's Interfaith Achievement Awards, and for their lifetime of services and activism in the St. Louis interfaith community. I also would like to thank Dr. Monica Stewart from the St. Louis County Executive's Office for gracing this event tonight. Thank you. I would like to show appreciation for the Christian community for being the gracious sponsors for this year's event. And I want to express gratitude towards all our sponsors, donors, and members who made today's event possible. Because of your commitment, the Interfaith Partnership continues to celebrate diversity, resist religious discrimination, and advance awareness of the public good. Without you, our work cannot happen. Thank you. IPSTL's mission is to educate, engage, and advocate, to build a community where religious and non-religious people flourish together as neighbors. To achieve these goals, our efforts must be continuous. We rely on the generosities of donors like you to support our work. Together, we can break barriers, build bridges, and strengthen our community. As we emerge from our celebration tonight with renewed hope and dedication, we must do more than talk. We must enact the values we celebrate. With all the difficult challenges facing us, from the ongoing pandemic to economic issues to senseless acts of violence locally and abroad, it is all the more important for us to foster friendships with one another. Connections create friendships. Such relationships transform lives, and we, as neighbors, create community. And it is ultimately through community that the power of the human spirit can withstand any adversity. I will end with one final prayer of welfare and peace for all humanity from the Sikh faith. Nanak naam chardi kala, tere paane sarbat da pala. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Graywall. And friends, Dr. Graywall's comments highlights that it's actually your support that helps keep Interfaith Partnership strong. It's your support that helps us deliver programs of the highest quality. It's your generosity that provides Interfaith Partnership with the capacity to strongly advocate against religious violence and discrimination. Your gifts help us provide platforms to celebrate and increase awareness of the region's religious and cultural diversity. We are so grateful for your support and are reminded every day that we cannot do our work without you. And I would just like to take this opportunity following Dr. Graywall's comments that if you feel so inspired by the dialogue hour or the conversation you shared with friends or her comments or what the inspiration you're going to see from our Interfaith Achievement Award winners tonight, you are invited to make a special gift to support Interfaith Partnership's work. It's really easy to make a donation. If you're at home, you can do it on your computer while you watch. If you're right here in the room with us, grab your mobile and you can text Journeys to 41444 and make a donation now. Any amount is needed and very much appreciated. Thank you for your support and keeping our mission strong. It is now time to present the Interfaith Achievement Awards. Each year, Interfaith Partnership honors 2 members of the interfaith community for their steadfast commitment to deepening relationships across lines of religious difference. Honorees are recognized for bravely bringing people together, for actively building an interfaith community that is responsive and resilient, for working towards collective transformation, for being a friend to many. In their daily lives, the awardees model how we can all care for a community that extends beyond a single congregation or a single tradition. But most of all, they possess a profound commitment to recognizing human dignity. This year's 2 honorees certainly exemplify each of these traits. Right now, I'd like to invite Meryl Walters to come forward. Meryl Walters was an Interfaith Achievement Awardee in last year, and she is also a member of the Interfaith Partnership Cabinet, and she will be presenting our first nominee. Meryl?
This is really fun for me. I've been on a friendship journey with Nancy Remmert for, I'm thinking, about 30 years. When I first was invited to be part of the steering committee for the Women's Interfaith Partnership, that's when I met Nancy. And She was kind of my model. I watched to see what an interfaith person was supposed to do. And Nancy was the one I watched. And she's been a great friend, wonderful person. I have such admiration for her quiet but insistent and persistent and thoughtful leadership and support of the interfaith world in St. Louis. Also like to say on behalf of the steering committee of the Women's Interfaith Conference, I'd like to pass along their loving recognition to Nancy for 35 years of dedicated service as secretary of the steering committee for the St. Louis Women's Interfaith Conference and for moderating the North County Interfaith Dialogue Group. Now we get to hear and see more about Nancy. Nancy loves interfaith. She is the rock, the foundation of any group that she belongs to.
She's been the face of the Women's Interfaith Steering Committee. And I know she also runs the North County Dialogue.
She is very deserving because of herself and everything she's done. Also, she is not an attention-seeking person.
I've encountered Nancy Remmert mostly through her work with Church Women United. I'm always surprised at the number of interfaith events that I am in attendance with around the St. Louis area, and she's always there.
She doesn't give up interfaith. She doesn't hesitate to volunteer. She doesn't hesitate to be there always when there's an interfaith group, when there's a need for being the secretary or the treasurer or the president or whatever it is.
Nancy lives her life by her faith. She thoroughly enjoys dialoguing with everybody.
She believes in sharing, and she believes in living her belief. There's nothing false about Nancy Remmert.
Well, I would consider Nancy more than a Christian at heart, Jesus follower, but absolutely a golden rule, love your neighbor person.
The interfaith organization helps to bring to people the truisms of these religions and to help educate people. And I think that's a motivating factor for Nancy, is to let's really understand each other and really know and not listen to false rumors.
So I think it's really important to be more inclusive as opposed to be excluding.
I think Nancy so deserves this. I am so grateful that she's getting this award. My best wishes for her for many interfaith adventures going forward.
I love celebrating religiously and personally with you and sharing our religious journeys and our personal journeys as well. Congratulations.
It's a privilege knowing her and getting to see and know her caring heart and how that has carried over and exemplified in everything that she does. So I can think of no one who's more deserving of this award than Nancy.
Well, I can congratulate you wholeheartedly, Nancy, and I think you're most deserving of this award. And like I said earlier, why not you? In my lifetime, I've not known anybody that has given more to the community, to interfaith, to other people in general than you have.
Nancy, please come forward. I'll get on all the phone.
During my lifetime, I've been truly blessed by my family and by my church, the United Church of Christ, and the two congregations, Salem and Emmanuel, where I've been a member. Through Church Women United, which was instrumental in beginning the Women's Interfaith Conference, I've been introduced to so many people who have become friends. While serving as Church Women United's representative to the Interfaith Partnership Cabinet, I have expanded my worldview. All of these opportunities have been blessed gifts. It is extraordinary to be honored for doing something that I absolutely love. Thank you.
We have some friends from the Church Women United who share an interfaith conference to share extra gifts with Nancy. To introduce our second nominee, I would like to invite Harvey Schneider, a 2016 awardee, along with his wife Leanne, and also a current Interfaith Partnership board member. Harvey?
Thank you, Jim. I have to tell you, it's a real pleasure to be able to introduce one of the recipients of tonight's awards, Lenny Frankel. The award's purpose is to honor persons for their steadfast commitment to deepening relations across lines of difference. That's the official title of what the award is supposed to be. Now, Lenny Frankel is just such a person. But let me tell you a little bit about him that's not included in the bios of the awardees in tonight's program. You'll be able to read that at your convenience, but I'm going to tell you some things that are not in the program, which I think you'll find interesting. Nothing scandalous, don't worry about it. After finishing law school and serving in the military, he began his practice of law here in St. Louis. Now, many of his clients were among the rich and famous, which every lawyer aspires to. However, he was also the lawyer for people who needed legal help and couldn't afford a lawyer. Lenny is just that type of person who would step forward and never hesitated to help those in need. He is extremely regarded in legal circles, and I can tell you that he has many lawyers as clients. And just among us, that's one of the best compliments a lawyer can receive, knowing that another lawyer trusts him to represent that person. In addition to doing his law work, he's highly regarded as a mediator. Now, in case you don't know what a mediator is or does, a mediator is a person who brings two parties who've been battling each other in court, and he gets these people together hoping that he can resolve their differences and create a little peace. And Lenny has done an outstanding job of that. He's very much sought after as a mediator, and I guess I have to say he's a terrific peacemaker, at least in legal circles. I don't know about his house. Apart from his legal activities, Lenny Frankel has engaged in many community activities. He's lent his talent to the ACLU, and he served as past president of his congregation, B'nai Amana congregation. He served as past president of the Jewish Community Relations Council and as past president of the Interfaith Partnership. Now, in the interfaith world, Lenny has been a great ambassador, making close friends with leaders of most of the 32 faith groups which comprise the Interfaith Partnership. He's very wise, with his advice being sought by many people from all different faith groups. He's friendly, held in high esteem by all who know him, but nevertheless, he's a very modest, unassuming person, which makes him even that much nicer. He's creative and imaginative. During his presidency, he arranged for an interfaith trip to Israel. There were some of us who had been before, others who were making their first trip, and it was truly a remarkable event being able to meet with leaders of the Christian, Jewish, Muslim, and Baha'i faiths. The bottom line is that we all came away much more appreciative of our own faith as well as the other three faiths that I mentioned. Lenny is married to Julie. Julie, raise your hand so people can see who you are. They have one son who's a glass artist in Portland, Oregon, and one granddaughter. And now, let us hear a little bit more about Lenny.
Lenny grew up in, I think it's called East St. Louis. As a child, he learned to appreciate who he was, at the same time appreciating the value of other people.
He has served on the Interfaith Partnership Board the entire 3 years that I have been executive director. I have benefited greatly from his wisdom and guidance.
I think Lenny genuinely loves the people that he gets to be with. I think he has fun.
Oh, Lenny has done so much for Interfaith Partnership. He's been a leader for many years, not only at his own synagogue, but for Interfaith Partnership.
If you want people from the Jewish community to be there, you don't even really have to reach out. Lenny's probably already on his way.
When we want to talk about somebody who is in conflict with each other, we refer to the biblical personage of Aaron the high priest.
He's brought together people of all religions and become friends with people of all religions. So he's also been very supportive of all the different programs and events of Interfaith Partnership. So if there's ever a meeting or a dialogue that Interfaith Partnership is organized, Lenny's going to be there.
He tends to very quietly ask very profound questions. So while he's a person of faith, he's also a person who thinks and reflects and quietly asks very profound questions.
He is passionate. He is somebody who, he's warm, he's open, and he pushes people to get it done. I think it's really important for Lenny that when he steps into interfaith spaces, he's doing it fully as part of the Jewish community. I think as part of the Jewish community, it has led him to care deeply about other people, to recognize that discrimination against any person could risk all of us, knowing that we are called to care for all people, to help lift up all people, and knowing that our Jewish community needs to be in partnership with all people.
Lenny, congratulations for receiving Interfaith Partnership's Lifetime Achievement Award. You certainly deserve it.
Congratulations, Lenny, on this very well-deserved award.
Mazel tov on this honor, and keep asking profound questions, because we need people who ask profound questions.
Lenny, come on up.
When I was sent the information about how this program would run tonight, it had a 3 by my name for my remarks. And I thought that was shorthand for 30. But I was told later that wasn't quite right. So I've had to shorten about 25 or 30 pages of my remarks. Please forgive me for not including everything. First, I want to thank the Interfaith Partnership, the committee, the board for this most prestigious award. You saw the names of the prior recipients of the award, and for myself and for Nancy to join that list is really, really quite an honor, and I'm very, very appreciative of that. I became involved with Interfaith Partnership many years ago when my friend and my mentor, Harvey Schneider, contacted me and invited me. It was at the end of 2007. He invited me to a Interfaith Partnership board meeting. And our good friend Howard Nelson was president at the time. Howard couldn't be with us tonight due to health reasons. We miss him, but I hope he's watching, and I have the deepest regards for Howard. But in any event, shortly thereafter, I was asked to join the board, and I joined the board in 2008. And it's been a wonderful experience because I've got to meet and interact with so many people from so many different faiths that in my normal course of my activities, I probably would not ever have the opportunity to interact with on a day-to-day basis. So it's wonderful to get to know so many different people in so many different ways. Someone asked me about my interfaith journey. It started long before that because, as you might have seen in the program, I grew up in East St. Louis. And East St. Louis, there was not a large Jewish community. It was a small Jewish community, close-knit, but most of my contacts were not with people of the Jewish faith. From the first grade through junior high school, there was one other Jewish student who happened to be my cousin in my grade. And he lived half a block away, and we would walk to grade school every day together. But we would also walk with other kids. And some of them went to the Catholic school, which was just a block further from our grade school. And so we interacted with the Catholic students. We interacted with students of all religions that were in our class and in other classes at school. And in high school, the numbers multiplied greatly by 100%, because then there was 4 Jewish kids in my class. So obviously many of my friends from my youth on were not of the Jewish faith. In fact, one of my closest friends from high school is here tonight. I'm very honored that Bob Cross, who's a member of the Catholic religion, is here with us. And he and his wife and myself and Julie are very, very close friends, and we've maintained that friendship for all these years. So it's just so important to have friends and know people and be able to interact with people and understand that we have differences. We have differences, but we have so much more in common than our differences. And when you realize we have so many things in common, we can do so much good, and we can accomplish so much in this world. And that's always been my philosophy, is to work together. And I feel that in my work as a lawyer, I feel that in my work as a mediator, and I feel that in my work in the Jewish community. And to be able to represent the Jewish community in the Interfaith Partnership and work with so many wonderful people from different walks of life has just been so, it's benefited me much more than it's benefited anyone else. So I appreciate the award very much. I thank the Interfaith Partnership. I thank the staff for all their hard work, and what a fantastic turnout tonight. I was so surprised. I didn't know Nancy had so many friends. I couldn't get over it. It's just fantastic. Thank you all very much for being here.
Congratulations. Wow, those two Achievement Award winners are just such special people. It's such an honor to work with them both, and a privilege, actually, to call them both friends. Congratulations again to Nancy and to Lenny. And to cap off this great evening, we have a special treat. We are so privileged to have with us tonight the Community Gospel Choir of St. Louis. Gospel music is a traditional American Protestant genre of music. Its roots go back to the 19th century. It's come to be characterized by dominant vocals and strong use of harmony with Christian-oriented lyrics. The creation, performance, significance, and even the definition of gospel music varies according to culture and social context, which makes them the perfect guests for us to have this for tonight's celebration. With singers from all backgrounds, the Community Gospel Choir embodies what it means to foster friendships, build bridges, and create community. Through the rich tradition of African American spirituals and the energy of gospel music, the choir delivers messages of hope and joy, which are so needed in times like this week. The Community Gospel Choir is recognized as one of the premier gospel choirs in the region and one of the most diverse choirs in the St. Louis area. And we're pleased to have them part of our efforts to bridge divides and put the unity back in community. Ladies and gentlemen, the Community Gospel Choir of St. Louis.
everybody else talk. Is there a button where it's coming? We shall overcome. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for inviting us again. I believe this is our third time sharing this evening with you, and we won't keep you long. You know, when you go to a gospel church where there's gospel music, we know how to do that. However, we won't do that to you. We all depend on our faith, and we thank you that through our faith we look for a higher power in unity to answer the unanswerable. And I am a teacher, and I was not involved, but I'm asking God, just, you know, keep my heart, and I do have the faith that, you know, the higher power that I look to will keep us all safe and heal those who need to be healed. So we're glad to be here and share the faith-based loving thy neighbor. We do that together. Our mission is to break down the barriers that separate us, and our mission is to build bridges to bring people together in the St. Louis community. We focus on African American gospel music and African American spirituals to do this. So our faith is based on love. We are inclusive, we are diverse, and we are loving. This is also translated into compassion and our connection to each other. So I know you've heard that song before, We Shall Overcome. How many of you have heard that song before? This is the teacher in me. And it goes, we shall overcome. You can sing it, it's okay. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. And appropriate for tonight is we'll walk hand in hand. That's right. We'll walk hand in hand. And we do. We walk hand in hand. We walk hand in today. Today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. You can join this choir, you know that, right? So, thank you. So on our program this evening, we have every day is a day of Thanksgiving. I think we can all identify with the words of this song. And African American Spiritual is next on our program. We all are here and have donated some of our culture to the American land. And the enslaved, my people, sang spirituals. We call them sorrow songs. And then we call them songs of Jubilee. And we call them songs of the Underground Railroad, the African American Spiritual. And we'll sing anyhow for you tonight. Then we'll sing another song, a foot stomping gospel song that'll get your feet stomping and your hands clapping, called Now I'm On My Way. So I present to you the Community Gospel Choir of St. Louis. Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
Sometimes you can't understand the words of a gospel song, but that said, once I was lost. Been there. I was deep in despair. Satan had me bound in my mind everywhere. But Jesus brought me out and turned my life around, and now I'm on my way. I feel like I'm on my way. I'm gonna have a birthday in a few days, and I'm on my way. Rather have one than skip one, right? Interfaith, thank you so much for having a community gospel choir of St. Louis again this year. This is our, since I've been director, this might be our third or fourth time engaging in a celebration of this sort with you. And so we really appreciate being a part of the celebration. We've been a part of the celebration when some other musical entities performed, and we learned a lot, and that's what we have to keep doing. We keep making connections and having compassion and loving each other and trying deeply to understand. So our last selection is kind of a theme song for us. It's called Make Us One, and we hope you enjoy it. And again, thank you for inviting us for this evening. Thank you, our accompanists tonight, Cheryl Walker, T.C. Chandler, Alec, Adam New. Thank you so much. We enjoy you. Thank you.
Let's hear it one more time for the Community Gospel Choir of St. Louis. And a big hand to all of you. Thank you for such a wonderful evening. This has just been amazing. I've been so energized by the dialogue hour. I've just been inspired by our awardees. I'm just uplifted by this choir tonight. So grateful for all of you, and so grateful for all of you. Thank you for your support. We're going to finish the night off with a benediction. I want to invite up Pastor Dion McKenzie from Emmanuel United Church of Christ and Rabbi Jeffrey Abraham from Congregation B'nai Emunah. These are the spiritual leaders of our two awardees, and they're going to close us out with a benediction. Gentlemen.
Play a flow every day.
Thank you. Won't you just put your hands together again and just give God a hand clap of praise for bringing us all together on this evening. Your benediction. Jesus has told us who needs us who to care for. As you go out into God's world, keep your eyes open for those who are hungry, those who are thirsty, those who are naked, those who are sick, and those who are strangers. See Christ in them and help them. And remember, you are beloved by Christ. The Holy Spirit lives in you. Christ's compassion shines through you, and live as though you know and have experienced God's goodness. Now go in peace.
Sovereign of the universe, who created all in love, teach us to love all that is good and beautiful in our world. Teach us to honor the dignity of difference, recognizing that we are all created in your image. At this faithful moment, bless us that we may be a blessing to others. As we have gathered in fellowship and friendship tonight, we ask that you guide us to honor you by honoring one another, so that by reaching out in love, we may turn enemies into friends, become your family here on earth, as you are our parent in heaven. As we honor these two amazing people tonight, beloved God, bless the staff and volunteers of our Interfaith Partnership of St. Louis with wisdom, grace, and compassion, so that they can continue to serve all throughout our community. Help us to bring honor to your name, and let us bring blessings to all humankind. Amen.
Good night, everyone. Stay safe.